What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gunfish TV. As you can see, we're not out on the water today, but we are out here at the old Ranger. I'm actually getting the boat ready to go out on the water tomorrow. We're going to be chasing some bass, and I wanted to talk about one lure that I'm absolutely going to be throwing and a lure that absolutely crushes big bass this time of year. Now, one thing about it is, here in Virginia, we have a major cold front coming. The fall is coming. I mean, fall is already here, but what I call fall is when the nights start to get down in the 40s and the 30s, and the daytime temps are in the low 60s. The water temps really start to drop, and the bass start to absolutely bite. And not only the bass, but pretty much all species of fish go crazy because they're trying to feed up for the winter. So they're pushing up shallow, they're just concentrating on bait fish, absolutely crushing them. So you want to throw a lure that imitates a bait fish, but also that you can cover a lot of water with, and you can fish very shallow with. And I'm going to tell y'all, that bait is right here. The plopper style lure. This is the mock patroller. This thing has gotten absolutely crushed for me here recently. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit and why it works so well. So let's get into it. All right, so this particular lure, this is a Patroller 110. So this is the mock Patroller 110. And one thing about it is, after this video is over, if you're interested in ordering some of these, there is a link in the description below along with a discount code so you can save some money at mocknation.com. So be sure to check it out. But this is the Patroller 110. And look at this thing. This is the chrome color. It is absolutely destroyed with teeth marks. If you can see, I have red hooks on here because the original hooks, I caught so many fish on it that I had to replace the hooks, and I just put some red ones on it. But I'm telling you, this lure absolutely attracts the fish, calls them in, and it just causes some crazy explosive topwater bites. And not only from bass, but from inshore species. If you're a saltwater guy, just muskie, all kinds of fish will absolutely crush this. And one thing about it is, it's also a very simple lure to use. You cast it out by structure up on flats and you reel it in. And this thing has a crazy plopping sound that is very loud, and it attracts fish. They're able to get behind it, they're able to track it down, and they just absolutely crush it. And this bait has been around, a plopper style lure has been around now for several years. If you are an avid fisherman, you've probably heard of it. If you're new to fishing, you may not have. But this is definitely a bait that you need to add to your arsenal. Like I said, right here in the fall, when the fish are pushing up shallow, they're really king on bait fish and on injured bait fish. They love to run through these big balls of shad or whatever bait fish they're actually chasing, depending on your body of water. But when they injure a bait fish, a lot of times it gets up to the top of the water and it will be up there flapping around. That is easy prey. That is an easy meal. And that's one thing that this plopper style lure imitates: a injured bait fish, something that's going across the surface, very kind of fast. You're reeling it at a moderate retrieve, just a steady plopping retrieve. You can really hear that bait working, but the fish really track it down, and they absolutely attack it. There's been days when I've been able to catch fish on a plopper style lure when I could not get a bite on the buzz bait. It's something about this profile. You have this long, slender, cigar shape almost profile, and you have this back blade right here that rotates on a wire shaft, and it spins, and that's what creates that plopping noise. Literally, it's blah 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 blah, and that's literally what it sounds like as it is coming through the water. And like I said, it is a topwater lure, so it floats, so you can reel it by a dock or a lay down. And when you get right beside it, if you want to, you can stop it, you can pop it a little bit. But I really like to throw this lure just with a steady to moderate retrieve, just a steady moderate retrieve, just cranking the handle slow, just like that, plopping. If you're throwing it on a spinning rod, which I do sometimes for saltwater, I like to utilize spinning gear when I'm fishing saltwater, but same deal, a moderate retrieve, bringing it in. Something else about this lure, I like to throw this on straight 50-pound braid. no matter what, I like throwing it on 50-pound braid. I can throw up around weeds, I can throw around wood, and when I get into a big fish, I can hoss him out and get him to the boat. Now, a lot of times people don't like to throw braid when they're throwing, a treble a hook style lure. But personally, for me, I like to throw a plopper on 50-pound braid. So I'm also going to get into what rod and reel I like to throw this lure on as well. All right, so when we're speaking about the rod and reel that I like to throw a plopper on, I throw it on the exact same setup that I throw my buzzbait on. And this is also the same rod that I use for multiple different techniques, spinnerbait and chatterbait. It is a super versatile rod, but I absolutely love it for a buzzbait and a plopper. And that is the Mach 2, the Lew's Mach 2, 6 foot, 10 inch, medium heavy, moderate fast. Now that is one thing that I love about this rod is the fact that it is a moderate fast. So it has a little bit more of a softer tip, a little bit more moderate action. It's not super stiff for being a medium heavy. So it loads up well when you're throwing a buzzbait or a plopper style lure, also a chatterbait and a spinnerbait. I don't like a stiff rod for those as well. But 6 foot, 10 inch, medium heavy, moderate fast, Mach 2, and I throw that on a Lew's Baitcaster 6:8 to 1 gear ratio, 6:8 to 1, and 50-pound test P-line braid. So, like I said, I always throw my buzzbaits and my ploppers on braid, and this is the rod and reel combo that I use. I like a 6:8 to 1. I can throw it out there. I can reel it moderately back. This lure floats, so I don't have to worry about having something super fast, but I throw my buzzbait on a 6:8 to 1 as well. A lot of people really like super high-speed gear ratios. I'm old school when it comes to that. I was used to fishing with 5.2 to 1s coming up, so I throw a 6:8 to 1. Real gear ratio for this technique is really your preference. I'm just telling you all what I use. So, like I said, same setup as my buzzbait setup is what I throw my plopper style lures on as well. And I'm telling you, you need to incorporate this lure into your arsenal for this time of year, just for the sheer simplicity of how easy it is to fish, but also this thing has some crazy attracting power when it comes to shallow bass, when it comes to shallow inshore fish. Like I said, y'all can see this bait is absolutely destroyed. Make sure you get a plopper style lure, especially this Mach Patroller. There are a ton of different colors for you to choose from. And this is the chrome. Chrome always works in the fall, especially when you have a bright, sunny day. It is something about this chrome color that really gets them to bite. So be sure to check out MachNation.com. Get you some Mach Patrollers. Get you some Mach setups to rod and reels, whether it be the combos or whatever. Use my code, save you some money. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. But make sure you're throwing a plopper style lure this time of year. No matter where you fish, you're going to get some crazy blow-ups. You're going to catch some big fish, and man, it will absolutely catch them. So I'm going to be doing some more tips and tricks videos here in the future. Just wanted to tell you all about this. I'm going to be throwing it tomorrow for sure. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Go out, catch some big fish, and I'll see you next time on Gunfish TV.